The next is cross-pollination, where we have the transfer of pollens from one flower to another genetically similar, not similar this time, genetically different flower. Okay, so the pollens would be transferred to a genetically different flower. Obviously, it is going to be a different plant on which that flower would be born. So we have cross-pollination. Now, this cross-pollination, we talked about what it is. Genetically different flowers are involved. When two genetically different flowers are involved, there would be that the flower has, there would be certain contrivances which the flower would have adopted in order to avoid the self-pollination, because this cross-pollination favors genetic variability. The shortcomings which the self-pollination had, those are going to be overcome over here. So, the genetic variability is brought about being two genetically different flowers being involved. Now, as a result of genetic variability being involved, the plant shows high amount of adaptability. We do study about what are the various contrivances that a plant adopts in order to avoid self-pollination, so that cross-pollination would occur. There are certain mechanisms in which the female part matures earlier and the male part matures later on. We have a lesson dedicated to that. But for now, there is introduction of genetic variability which increases the adaptability. There is the state of hybrid vigor that we see. Okay, as a result of various plants getting involved, genetically different plants, but it is a wasteful process for the plant. Why it is wasteful process? Because a large number of pollen grains would get wasted, because the pollination happens to be a chance event. Okay, it does not maintain purity of characters, so we do not get pure line, and at times the character which is beneficial, that can also get hidden in this cross pollination process. But because we say that the sexual reproduction is any day better than asexual reproduction, which brings about homogamy sort of situation, from that point of view, this cross-pollination is much better off as compared to self-pollination, where we find these two things and it enables the survival of a particular species within the environment. And what to say, the importance of this particular term. If the plant is able to survive, it is going to see a lot of evolutionary development, and we would find the plant over generations and generations and generations, and that we have seen in the case of angiosperms. Because of this property, these two things are resultant of this, and because of this we find angiosperms the most diverse variety of plants that we have on our earth. So you get to know the importance of cross-pollination as well. Next we are going to see what are the various contrivances that the plant adopts in order to make sure that this very important process is not hindered and it takes place smoothly, considering the closed structure of flower, the various types of flowers and various possibilities which could lead to self-pollination.